HOA Karen kept driving through a black man's ranch. So he set a trap they never saw coming. Extended rewrite. Roland Keaton had known every inch of that Weatherford, Texas ranch since the day he could walk. He knew where the mesquite shadows fell at dawn, where the creeks swelled in spring, where the cattle liked to bed down when storms rolled in from the west. The land wasn't just dirt. It was history, inheritance, pride. His father had worked it. His grandfather before that. Sweat, calluses, and stubborn dignity were built into the fences just as much as the nails. So when a silver Lexus SUV kept rolling through his pasture as though it were a public roadway, it didn't just bother him. It insulted him. And behind that Lexus wheel was Judith Cranford, age 52, hair always salon fresh, HOA board member of the Oakwood Estates subdivision down the road. One of those neighborhoods where every house was the same shade of beige, every lawn chemically green, every mailbox matching by code. A world that believed it could smooth the rough edges off life, including men like Roland. To Judith, Roland's ranch was in the way. To Roland, it was home. The first clash. The first time he caught her, Roland had been elbow-deep repairing a water trough. Sun high, heat thick enough to chew, when he heard tires crunching gravel where no tires should ever be. He walked around the barn, and there she was, cruising through his property like she was late for a manicure. He stepped out and raised a hand. "Ma'am, this here's private land," he said, hat tipped out of courtesy, not kindness. Judith lowered her window only a fraction, enough to speak, not enough to let the ranch dust inside. "Oh, I know, Roland. But it saves me 15 minutes to the freeway. It's harmless." Harmless. Like his work meant nothing. Like his boundaries meant nothing. Like he meant nothing. "It's not harmless to me," Roland replied. "I'm a skin you respectful. Stop using this road." Judith's lips curved into a smirk that wasn't quite a smile. "It's just a road." And then she rolled the window back up and drove on, like he was the inconvenience. The second time. This time, Roland stood in the road, boots planted, arms crossed. "Ma'am, I told you once. Don't come through here." Judith didn't even pretend to take him seriously. "And I told you," she said. "You're overreacting. You have acres of land, Roland. I'm just passing through. You've busted my gate twice. Spooked cattle. You'll keep doing it until I stop you." Judith let out a small laugh, the kind people make when they've already decided you're beneath them. "Then send me the bill. The HOA will get a kick out of it." And she drove away. Not just trespassing now, taunting. The town turns. Judith didn't just ignore him. She got ahead of the story. Suddenly, folks at the diner were whispering. At the feed store. At church. "Roland's losing it. He's obsessed with that woman. Why make trouble over a little road?" Judith had influence. Judith had money. Roland had dirt under his nails and truth in his hands. And that never traveled as far, the breaking point. By May, the pasture road looked like a battlefield. Deep ruts carved into once smooth earth. Fence posts leaning from repeated gate impacts. Every time Roland fixed it, Judith undid the work. Every time he asked for respect, she gave contempt. And one evening, watching her SUV barrel through again like his land was her shortcut lane, something in him finally settled. Not anger. Resolve. The trap. He didn't build a weapon. He built a message. A new gate. Heavy steel, reinforced, bolted into concrete sunk deep into the earth. The kind of gate that didn't budge when nudged. The kind that didn't yield to arrogance. And just beyond it, under a thin layer of gravel, retractable tire spikes. Not the kind meant to injure. Just the kind that said, "You don't belong here." The day it happened. For days later. Evening sun sinking gold over the pasture. Roland heard the engine before he saw the car. Her car. She pulled up fast, confident, almost annoyed to see the new gate. She tried to open it with her bumper. Once. Twice. Then she backed up and slammed it. Steel didn't move. So she drove forward. SSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSSS sat frozen. Not angry. Stunned. Disbelief cracking that perfect composure. Roland didn't walk toward her. Didn't taunt. Didn't gloat. He just watched from his porch, coffee in hand, like a man done talking. The courtroom. Judith arrived with a lawyer polished enough to slide through oil. She cried. Claimed danger. Claimed fear. Claimed cruelty. Roland's attorney was a man with weathered shoes and a briefcase older than the courthouse walls. When Roland spoke, he didn't raise his voice. I asked her to stop. I asked again and again. I only wanted my land respected. That's all I've ever wanted. Silence filled the room, the kind that weighs something. The judge looked at Judith. Mrs. Cranford, did he tell you to stay off his land? Judith hesitated. Her lawyer tried to interrupt. Yes, she finally forced out. The judge nodded once. Mr. Keaton, remove the spikes. But Mrs. Cranford, you set foot on his property again, even once, and you will be arrested for criminal trespass. The gavel slammed up. No debate. No rewrite. No HOA vote. Truth won. Afterwards, Roland didn't celebrate, didn't brag, didn't retell the story at the diner. He just drove home, parked, and walked the fence line as the evening breeze moved through the grass. The gate stood strong. The land stretched quiet and wide. His father's voice seemed to echo in the dusk. A boundary only matters if you're willing to stand and hold it. Roland had stood, and he had held it. The land remained his. And in the quiet Texas dusk, that was enough.